Because you have an idea that was thrown into your head that now you can see the truth, and now you're not going to stand blood thick with the person who gave you the truth. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't want nothing from you. I don't even want to touch you. For heaven's sakes, if I touch you, unless you're blood thick with me, I don't want to step near you. I mean, I'm just telling you, you're filthy fucking sick. Unless you're blood thick with us. It's 144K by the book. Mm-hmm. When you going off to the Holy Grail? That's fun. Are you that fucking stupid? It's 144K by the book. Count them up for me. There's only 5,900 videos over there. It ain't time yet. I'm sorry. Go ahead and try and do it without me.
Yeah.
Get it on video. Stream it live like I did when the cops beat in my house and they destroyed my phone. It was too late. They couldn't get the video back. The phone was destroyed, but the video already streamed live to the internet. Now people say, you're a fucking crybaby, whatever, like I was saying before. That's fucking fun. You're looking at the devil now. Nothing scares me now. Like somebody said, they've been robbed. Whatever it is, take it. If I had a Rolex and you were robbing me, take it. It's like, all your wealth that you have, that you consume, that you hoard, everything. I'm telling you, it's useless to you. It's fucking useless. Mm-hmm. Your fancy boat, your fancy Mercedes, your Lexus, your house, whatever. It's all useless. It ain't gonna, you can't buy your way into the Garden of Eden. And there's something, it's a bigger prize. It's eternal life. I know you think, like Superman, he could fly and all kinds of shit. That's kind of funny. Even if I could fly, it's like, what do I need to fly to? You know, it's, what I'm saying is that nothing bothers me. It's like traffic bothers you. If I'm stuck in traffic, I mean, I'll be having fun on my iPhone like you should be having fun. Checking your email. Finally, you're stuck in traffic. You got a minute to yourself. You can check your email. You know, you don't have to get to the job that soon. What I'm saying is, shit doesn't bother me anymore. Mm-hmm. Everything seems to bother everybody. Everywhere I turn, everybody's road rage, whatever, you know. To think somebody has road rage, this is funny. It's, you know, I'm on the clock or whatever, going from job site to job site. Right? Well, what I'm saying is that I don't worry about it. If the traffic's backed up, I'm being paid to sit in traffic. What I'm saying is, it's that I find a way to turn negative shit into positive shit in my head. You know, I'm like this mom magic. I was published a video, mom magic. You just take a picture of your mom, hold it up high in whatever room that it is, and every time you enter that room, touch your belly button and say, thank you, Mom, for my opportunity. You know, that umbilical cord. Your mom, you're birthed into this world through a woman, you're going to be birthed out through Mother Earth, through the Holy Holy. What I'm saying is, I've already seen too much. Nothing seems to bother me. I can't wait to get to work. We were once kings who lived, and now we're working to live. I'm enjoying this working shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. My slavery, I'm lapping this shit up. I'm fucking eating it up. I can't wait to get to work on my, I'm going to be filming that shit. Am I a plumber or am I a film? I come home with something. People say, why are you filming? Oh, my son wants to be a plumber. I promise him I'll come home with a video every day. Nobody bothers me. Nobody bothers me. Film it all. Oh, yeah. They'll even do the middle fingers and shit. Yeah. No. Some of my plumbing videos, no, I'm telling you, I get away with shit. You wouldn't imagine. It's like, going to work with the devil today, boy. You can hear that shit. People, how is that fucking possible? You go ahead and try that shit out tomorrow at work. Get it on video and publish it so I can see it. You won't see it. Oh, anybody who says they're like related to Satan or something, you know, you see them with their eyeliner and their funky black hair and their tattoos and shit. I got no fucking tattoos. I got no funky eyeliner on. I'm not, you know, I'm the last person you would think would be Satan. You're thinking of like, you know, people who wear black clothes and they wear these funny bands and just big ears or earrings or something, you know. There's nothing, there's nothing on me that marks me. You would know it until I showed you. You know, I'm marked in another way, but you wouldn't notice it. People wouldn't notice it. I don't beat around the bush. I tell you, I'm taking over this world for the benefit of all. Nobody can stop me. Everybody's going to play dumb. That's moving into reality, and that's what people are doing. So it's like the magic spell is already woven. Nobody's going to bother me. They'll laugh at me. And then when I come, you know what I mean? It's just, people dig their own graves. I mean, that's what people do.
How does a proclamation work?
You post it up for everybody to see, you get witnesses, and when nobody complains or rises up, then it becomes natural. It's a natural thing. It's been the same way for now how many years, you know? That type of thing. So
it matters though, like how many people are aware and how much people see it, right?
When you turned 18, they sent you a draft card to your house saying you're a man, you need to come off to the military, you know, you need to sign a draft card. You know, you see, nobody rose up about this. They could take your children from you and drag them off to war if they want to. And, you know, when those draft cards went out, people should have rose up. That was a proclamation. A draft card was saying, we're taking your children, right? The war at 18, it's necessary. That's what a draft card is. When a person turns 18 and it's a man, in America, you get a draft card at 18. They make you sign. It comes in the mail.
So it's like they're cashing in on your collateral.
Well, I'm saying it's a proclamation. It goes uncontested. Nobody, you know, for that to be changed, people have to rise up, right?
Yeah.
And speak out and do shit.
Yeah.
So a royal proclamation is the king sends out his troops. He nails up the proclamation that this is going to be a holiday now. Every year on this day, it's going to be celebrated as, that's a proclamation. Or, you know, shooting the king's deer, that's a proclamation. And if you shoot the king's deer, you're going to be executed in the public square. Nobody rises up, or nobody kills all the king's deer at the same time. You know what I mean? So that they really beat it down his throat. That you're not going to pull this shit with us, motherfucker. You see how it works?
Yeah.
If you don't speak up and contest it, it becomes reality. I made my royal proclamations long ago now, it seems. You know, like, you know, I was on British Flat Earth After Party a couple of years ago. It's been uncontested. You know what I mean? It's uncontested. It's not. It's clear as who is the Prince of Demons. You know what I mean? Nobody talks like this. Nobody puts their blood on all those sigils. I mean, when you look at somebody else out there doing magic, nothing's selfless about those people out there doing magic. Everything's about getting money, love, power, this type of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You never hear them say, bringing forth heaven and earth and releasing everybody from bondage. That's why they're doing their magic. When have you ever heard people do it? Not until I stepped up. You know what I mean? It's no accident. It's like a book. I think we're deep enough into the book to see that this is real. You know, you've got your blood up. You can see what's happened. I mean, I was the one who put up my blood 12/24/2013 publicly, and now look where we are. It's just there's so many compilation videos. There's people talking out. You know, saying all this shit. And I love the haters. You know, they don't bother me. It's clear roles of spirit destiny. They ain't going anywhere. You know what I mean? There's nowhere for them to run to. Is there? Where are they going to go to?
Nowhere. They don't have enough time.
No, they all still think, even if they say they're flat earthers, they still can't see it. Otherwise, they would be obsessed with this idea. They'd be blood thick with us making videos every day. You don't do this unless you see it. You know what I'm saying? You're not putting yourself out on a limb, you know. I've been doing this long enough to know that people know I'm serious. This is not a joke, right?
Yep. And they'll see
it. Put their blood up. So, really, you know, I love when you do that Hail Satan shit. You know, when I see the Bible pushing people come down the hallway or something like that, you know, Hail Satan, I'll yell out down the hallway or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
this whole building's filled with Satanists. Come to my door. We want to drink your blood. You know, I fucking have fun with these creeps.
Yep, they're like dancing
monkeys.
No, they're
so dumb. You can't possibly imagine.
They're like dancing monkeys. Mm-hmm. And if you tell them this shit, like they're just not. They're gonna ignore you. they're gonna think you're crazy, even though you're using their own thing. Like, even just like bringing up the flat earth, like all these Christians, like they don't know what the hell you're talking about. And it's like it's in the beginning.
We're not supposed to know. This is we're like the Wizard of Oz, and we're going to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. There's only a few of us,
They're not allowed to see it.
Not yet. Not yet. We have to come back and with all the power, selflessly, you know what I mean? Nobody else is allowed to see it, otherwise they will be selfish about it and try and charge money, and it would be a fiasco. Anybody who takes money for this is going to be killed in their adventure trying to get to this place. It's not about money. The very idea that the money says "in God we trust" on there, to take this to get your birthright, that's just crazy. That just goes, that's like a priest blessing someone before they go out to war to kill people. Does that make any sense?
No.
Go kill more people for, it's just, there's nothing. Yeah, I see it too. That's why I'm Satan. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to escape me. I'm going to fucking take this and forward. Nobody will stop me ever. What's to stop? I'm going to take a journey, and to a place that it's not supposed to exist. To even mention it, people wouldn't know what you were talking about. Even if the CIA was listening to us, what would they do? To stop somebody from going to a place that's not supposed to exist, how do you stop that? I mean,
they can't even guard it because they don't know what it is.
There's nothing to guard. It's invisible. They would just see more mountains, and they would just keep going in, and what would be their compasses would just keep taking them in a circle. They would think they were going in a straight line, but they end up going around something. It's like an illusion. They just can't get there. It has to be like you're invited. You have to be invited to this place. You can't just pop on their doorstep and say hello. You have to be invited. We don't get this far without being invited. We're the only ones screaming this shit out. That's because we're fucking invited. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference between, this is how I see it. We're being called home by this creative force. Nobody will get in our way. We just have to cook this frog slowly, because there's a lot of people out there that still think they're on a ball. Everybody still thinks they're on a ball floating through space as a monkey. So really what we're doing is we're just pointing out what the prize is. Why would they do all that shit? Why would they go to such lengths to hide the Holy Grail?
It's like alchemy. They're gonna process into it. All we have to do is just point it out to them, and they'll see it. And it's already designed for them to see it, because they can't escape it. They just need to unite with us.
Like I say,
I couldn't see it.
Everybody alone. Just make videos. All right, so what happened was, it was 2.5 years ago. I got the idea after sun gazing for a couple of weeks to write on a piece of paper some specific words, which were, I intend to worship all and exclude none, which I actually took my pen onto a piece of paper and I wrote out the words, I intend to worship all and exclude none, on paper, on video. And I wrote, I intend to usher in heaven and earth. And I pricked my finger and I put my blood onto the paper, and then I published the video to my channel. At the time, I was a round earther, okay? I thought we were an accident floating through space. And shortly after, about 90 days after, I realized that the earth is actually flat. And it started with them telling us that the universe is actually flat because it's a hologram. And I have an example here. Let me just see where I put that piece of paper. I just had it here a second ago. Oh, here it is. Okay, so they say we're living in a hologram, and holograms are flat. You see how you look like you could dive into that hologram? But really, it's flat as a sheet of paper. So they tell you that the universe is flat. So that's where I started on the flat earth, and then I started to realize other stuff. Like, for example, you put a motorboard on your head when you graduate school, showing you the flat earth plane that you're living on. And what I'm telling you is that if the earth was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and you weighed 150 pounds over here at the equator,
as you moved up to the pole, you'd weigh 750,000 pounds because of the no more spin, less spin as you go up the globe. There would be less of a spin, less of centrifugal force, and nothing. The point I'm trying to make is that nothing works on a globe. And shortly after I started decoding all the symbols, like for example, you think this is some sort of satanic symbol, but it's telling you as above, so below. It's showing you the candy cane where Jesus the Son places his light into the hole. And what I'm telling you is that I started to decode everything, and I realized that we're on a flat earth plane, and that it's one side of a light hole is a black hole. So when you see the sun above your head, that's one side of a coin. It's one coin with two sides, for example. They say that we would be trapped on this division symbol right over here. So when you see that, when you hear the words Jesus, that would be the sun above your head, and Satan is the sun beneath your feet. You would be on this flat earth checkerboard right over here, and there's a hole at the center of the dish. When you see cops eating donuts, you know, in the UK, the cops wear the checkerboards on their head, just like when you graduate from school, you put the motorboard on your head. They're showing you that it's a flat earth plane and that there's a hole at the center of the dish, and every single compass is pointing to it. And what's happening is, Jesus the Son, you see the candy canes are showing you that the sun, if you ever see a black hole, if you type into your computer, Google black hole and hit enter, and you hit the images button, you'll see pictures of black holes. They'll show you like a black hole with no light being able to shine through, and then other ones, they show you a disc with the sun being eaten and a candy cane, and then out from that disc comes this jet, an ash trailing jet. So this astral light, all this stuff. Why do you walk into a church and do you see stained glass windows and stuff? It's why do you blow out candles, close your eyes and make a wish? It's because the sun above your head is what's making your flesh and your bones and your blood. And now that you're here, if you want to bring something into reality, that's coming through the black sun. The black sun is, well, they say that the deepest that they can dig is 8 miles down or 12 miles down. They can't go any deeper because that's the other side. You would start on the other side where they show you in like Pirates of the Caribbean. They went into the vortex and then they popped in upside down, and that other place underneath us is the land of perpetual twilight. So if you look up the electric universe model, and they tell you Saturn was the primary sun that was stationary in the sky right over there with the land of perpetual twilight, nothing's changed. What's changed is that before you were under that flat line, and now you're on top of it. And we need to get to the center of the dish over here where the sun places this light into the hole. This would be the Holy Grail at the center of the dish, where the Aurora Borealis begins. At the 65th parallel, there's a time of the year where the sun spirals into the center of the dish and then spirals back out, bringing the seasons. And there's, if you look online, on YouTube, you can see at the 65th parallel, there's cameras that follow the sun around for 3 whole days straight, round and round and round and round, while it spirals in. Now, every compass is pointing to the center of the dish. It's showing you on this one the tree of life, and it says S-E-E. See the tree of life that's shooting out, and you see this one is a candy cane. Now, it's pointing to where Jesus the Son places his light into the hole, and out from that hole comes this green astral jet. So what I want to get across here is that the sun beneath us is stationary and fixed so that the light can shoot out of the holy hole, which is the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. So, bear with me for a second. I had mentioned in a previous video, you can find it on Flat Earth After Party by typing in Flat Earth After Party and hitting enter, and then going to their channel, hitting the videos button and scrolling down, you'll see Quasi-Luminous Presents. And I'm explaining in this video that you see Shiva, and Shiva's inside of either a pear that's upside down, pointing to the way out at the center of the dish, or he's in a flaming asshole. Now, the reason it's an asshole is because one side of a light hole is a black hole, makes this Vesca Pisces. But at the center of the dish, it's not a Vesca Pisces, it's a round hole called the Holy of Holies. if you read up on this hole, you'll see that it's breathing the rivers, the 4 rivers, bringing the tides. That it's pushing in and sucking in and out the waters, bringing the tides. It's not actually the moon. Okay? They say it's the magnetic mountain or something like this, which is the pulsating astral jet. So, bear with me for a second. When I see this symbol, you're thinking Satan and Jesus, whatever, all this crazy shit. And what I'm telling you is that if you look closer, you'll see the exclamation point. They say you're made out of clay. If you want to get to the land, to the living waters and live forever, or get out of this matrix, they're showing you, you need to get to the hole at the center of the dish. Life preserver. You want to get everlasting life, right? Everybody wants everlasting life. You want to preserve your life, you need to get to the center of the dish. You put a wreath on your door at Christmas, and you also set up one at a funeral. That's the only 2 times you see a wreath. And what that's telling you is you need to get to this holy hole before you're dead and drink from the living waters. That water is going to be found in the land of perpetual twilight, which is right beneath our feet. Scientists will tell you they can only dig down 8 or 12 miles, whatever, and the bits break, and they can't go any deeper than 8 miles or 12 miles, whatever it is. The point I'm trying to make is that they can't go any deeper because on the other side of that begins the underworld, which is not actually a bad place. That's the land of perpetual twilight. When they say there was the golden era, that's because we were inside the earth, or the other side of this. Okay, so here I put this together as an example. You see, we would have been like this, and we were taken out from and brought upside down. We're on the upside down. We're on the wrong side of the fence. We need to get into that hole at the center of the dish and get back to the right side of the fence. That's where we find Hyperborea, and that's the place where people beam out of this world and go into other places, like above the waters, where they say your 3-dimensional living body is asleep right now above the waters, and they show you in movies that you're wearing a suit and you're sleeping like this, and your consciousness has been stripped of your body and is now trapped inside this computer, where they tell you it's 1 electron balanced by a positron. Time going in one direction, time going the other direction. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole. We would be on the E-creation disk, or CD, here in the center. And what's happening is that the sun, you see candy canes, the sun is placing its light into the Holy of Holies, and out from that hole comes the green astral jet, or the tree of life. And the tree of life is telling you, like life preserver, you need to get to the tree of life at the center of the dish. Okay? Now, every compass points to it. It's simple. Another key thing that I think you should understand is that you go into a church, you say Amen. It doesn't matter what religion, you say Amen. It's from Amen Ra. The sun above your head is Ra. The sun beneath your feet is Amen. But it's one sun. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole. That's why it's as above, so below. It's the same exact sun. As within, so without. Now, I have pointed out in a previous video that your vowels are A-E-I-O-U. And sometimes Y, we sing that song in America. A-E-I-O-U, right? You know that song, right? And sometimes Y. All right, so you see the E is bent to the left. So if you take your E and bend it to the left, and you add the Y, then it says way. And then you have the I, which is also the exclamation point, telling you exclamation, pointing to the center of the dish. And then OU, the reason I put the T there, because if you go back the other way, it's TUV. TUV, meaning like the vagina hole, okay, where we need to get to. And the O, meaning the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. So the V, meaning the divine feminine, which is the black hole underneath our feet, that we need to get back to. And this is the same story being rubbed in your face over and over and over again. You go into church, you take communion, that white disc. So the sun is a disc. One side of that disc is a black hole. It's a disc. That's why they give you a disc. You put a disc on your tongue when you go into communion, because they're telling you that the sun is a hole. One side of a hole, this hole is a black hole. It's on loop. So when you see candy canes, and if you take a candy cane and you try and figure it into a figure 8, you'll end up with a question mark. And if you start up with a question mark and figure it into a figure 8, you'll end up with a candy cane. So when you see in Egypt, you see all these statues holding candy canes and ankhs, it's all the same story over and over and over again. They're showing you that it's one side of a black hole is a black hole, that you were birthed into this world, you will be birthed out of this world also. So I think one of the most important things I think we should clear up is this, that Satan is not this evil character that you've been told. Satan is a black sun, and the sun is conscious. It's what's bringing your intent to fruition. And that's why they made you fear and think all these horrible things about it, so that you would never be able to access this hidden power that you have, your ability to manifest stuff. Like an example, I want to manifest heaven on earth, and I want to bring all my people to the fountain of youth, and, you know, I put it on paper, and I spilled my blood on it, and shortly after that, I got the eyes to see the truth. And that's coming from the black sun. So I speak my intent into the sun. What that means is that no matter what, I always get my eyes on the sun and I speak my intent. I intend to bring forth heaven on earth. I intend to worship all and exclude none. I appreciate you. Okay? I make sure that I say that into the sun every single day. Now, you think, oh, that's sun worship. Well, it's kind of funny because Jesus turns out to be the sun. And the sun above your head is conscious. So you're thinking in your head something like, I'm crazy, but it turns out you're the fucking Polish one. You can't see shit until we spell it out for you. It's kind of funny. You know, it's crazy. I mean, they want you to go get reborn again and be like a baby and shit. And what's kind of funny is that your entire Bible, like the Bible says, Satan set himself above God, right? All right? So here you are on a round earth. Every time the sun goes around, you say it's, for example, daytime here, and now you dig to China, and when you get there it's nighttime, you'll say the sun is beneath your feet. So you would be setting God the sun beneath your feet. You would be Satan just believing that you're on a round earth, okay? Now, they tell you that the curvature is 9,999 feet. Or right, no, it's 6,666 feet for 100 miles. So as this fictitional ball would be spinning, every 100 miles, 1/3 of the earth, that are round earthers are setting themselves up above God just by believing that the earth is round, because the sun, while they're over here, they're telling you that God the sun is beneath their feet, being over here, and they're standing on the globe. You understand me? I know this is hard to understand, because if you've never seen one of these videos, this is what you need to understand. Every compass is pointing to the tree of life. At the tree of life, there's a hole called the Holy of Holies. So next time you see a cop eating a donut, you see he's got the checkerboard hat on. When you see somebody graduating from school, they have this mortarboard hat on, showing you that you are one satanic motherfucker, and you can't see it. You put on your black robe with your limp dick hanging off it, saying that you're bent and confused, because you know if you fill out a thing that says, like a singles thing, you'll say you're either straight or you're gay, right? So your thing hanging off your head is coming off from the center, and it's bent 90 degrees, telling you that you're not straight, that you're bent and confused. And it's got a ball hanging off. And then you go to, watch this, you go to the polls to cast your ball it, okay? And then you go read your Bible. You know who Baal is? Baal is that Satan thing. You know why Baal has 2 A's in it? Because it's one side of a light hole is a black hole. It's the division symbol, and the sun is conscious. So when you hear the Holy Spirit, that's that black dot right there. When you hear Jesus, that's the red dot above your head. And when you hear the Father in heaven, that's the computer up there that's control of the 4-faced, 4-letter God in charge of your 4-letter DNA. So your blood is very, very powerful. They say in a Bible somewhere that God, I think it's in the first 90 pages of a Bible I was reading, that it said God owns your blood. Okay? It's the 4-faced, 4-letter God in charge of your 4-letter DNA. That's above the waters. We would be inside of a computer simulation right now. They told you that the universe is flat. That it's a computer simulation, that you're in a hologram. Okay? Now, the way out of this hologram, they're showing you that there's a Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. This is the key thing that you got to understand. You were birthed into this world. You were birthed out. You have to get to the center of the dish, your life preserver, your wreath. Remember, you only see a wreath at your funeral, and on Christmas you put it on a door. It's telling you the center of the dish is your doorway out. It's the same story literally over and over and over and over and over again. There's no way to mess it up. Now, another thing was Adam turns out to be the grid, the chessboard. And a rib was broken off of Adam and was put up into the sky to make the moon. And they show you, if you look online, you'll see that somebody's exposed that the moon is see-through. If you take pictures of the moon and you zoom in, you can see the stars behind the moon. That's because it's only a rib of the Earth that was placed up there, and it's sending down a square wave at us, okay, which keeps everybody half-brained, and they can't see what's hiding in plain sight. For example, Santa comes down the shit chute into fire, and you want cookies and milk left out for him, and somehow people don't see that this is all satanic shit, that it's Santa, not Santer, that it's like Godzilla, not Godzilla. It's like a feminine principle here, and they're showing you the same story over and over and over again. You set up your Christmas tree on an X, which is the female chromosome. The choo-choo train is showing you that the engine of creation that causes the whole creation is the black sun beneath your feet. That's why you close your eyes and make a wish on your birthday and you blow out the candle. You're blowing out the sunlight and focusing your intent onto the black sun. That's why you walk into a church and you see the tinted windows, because they're blocking out the sun and focusing all your intent onto Satan. You walk into a church and you make the upside down cross. You kneel down to the feminine and you place holy water, feminine water on your head. You're birthed out of your mother's waters. Okay? It's everything that you think you know to be true is the reverse of truth. And I'm just going to go a little deeper here. Like, watch this. You say, I don't worship Satan. Listen, every word you speak is a magic spell. You learned spelling or spell casting in school, and you took your test with your number 2 shit pencil. Everybody knows number 1 is pee-pee, number 2 is shit. And you know it's a yellow pencil, like the sun above your head. And you know it's a dung beetle for a reason, because it's the astral jet coming out of the hole at the center of the dish. That the only reason that this whole thing works is because the sun places its light into the hole. So we have Amen and Ra, the 2 basic pieces of this that you're in. It's the division symbol. There's an entrance to the land below at the center of the dish. And you know every game and every movie is checker 6, rainbow 6, deep 6. Everything is this 666 showing you, you know, you're going down. Everything is you're going down. Everything is showing you it's being rubbed in your face on so much shit. You go to get a gumball with your children at the mall and you see that spiraling. It's the same story. So when you see this star with the horns up, that's the feminine principle. That's the divine mother that brings all of your intent into fruition. You're calling it Satan. And you've labeled it to be evil. But then you're going to a church and say Amen from Amen Ra. And you have your Bible, which is the 2 bowls. Bible meaning 2 bowls. So somebody pointed out to me that it's the 2 bowls, as in like salad bowls. So this would be like one like this underneath us with the black sun. In perpetual twilight, it's fixed so it can send the light through the hole at the center of the dish, which comes out, hits the parabolic mirror, and showers down on us. So Behemoth is the parabolic mirror, and Leviathan is the bottom half, which is holding the black sun. So we have Behemoth, which would be the top bowl, and Leviathan would be the bottom bowl. And you see the Mayan thing, X marks the spot. It's the same, literally the same story over and over and over again. Just because you can't see it, not yet, but you will. If you follow these 2 lines across, it makes an X. You understand me? They're showing you the same story literally over and over and over again. There's really no way to mess it up. So let's see here. The flood began when a rib was taken off the earth, placed up in the sky, and sending down a square wave. There's a blanket over the earth right now that keeps everybody half-brained. The flood is still there. The ark is you going into the hole, arcing into the hole at the center of the dish to get to the land of perpetual twilight, where there is where's the everlasting life, where you're way out of here. So this is all simple shit. You know, you see the slinky, a slinky, and you see this symbol over and over and over again. that they're rubbing in your face, it's the same story. One side of a light hole is a black hole. So when you see, like, Lilith, they say Lilith wouldn't conform to Adam. That's the black sun. One side of a light hole is a black hole. And Adam is the grid. Eve is a rib of the earth, which was taken off and is placed up in the sky. It's sending down a square wave. So another thing is when I see Polaris, you see this? This would be like the place that's over the hole at the center of the dish. Polaris. So when I think of Polaris, I think of like a stripper pole and feminine, like an heiress, a female. So what I believe is like strippers are spinning around on poles. It's the same story literally over and over and over again. Your Christmas tree has the lights going round and round and round, showing you Ra, the sun going round and round and round, moving inward and outward, bringing the seasons. So the X is a swastika. So you set up your Christmas tree with your swastika every year because you spiral your lights around it, showing you that just because you don't see the symbols are still there. Like when you see a cross, I see an unfolded cube. That's when they went from a flat earth to a round earth. That's when they opened up the cube. So before then, the cross was actually a cube, like the Mecca, like you had on your head, and like the Jews put on their forehead, called the tefillin, and on their arm. It's like the police wear the cube, the checkerboard on their arm and on their head. It's the same story over and over and over again. So, again, I know people, like Daniel said, people have questions about specific stuff, but I think what you need to focus on is the prize. So, like for example, we need to get to the center of the dish for everlasting life. Until you're there, you never left Egypt, and Egypt stands for everyone gypped. And when you go to your church, the church stands for to your children, okay? And go spells, you have your gospels, that's go spells right there. Every word you speak is a magic spell. And it said you put on a black satanic robe when you graduate school and you have your angle or degree, showing you that you're bent and confused. So you say, what's your angle? What's your degree that you're bent? So anytime you see somebody with a square or a thing hanging off, like for example, you'll say, he's a 33rd degree Mason and he's got this thing on, they're laughing because you're clearly saying that you're bent and confused, because you know if you fill out an ad that you're single, you say you're single and you're straight. Okay, you're either straight or you're bent, and that's what they're telling you, that you're bent and confused. Okay, so the whole thing that's going on here has got a homosexual undertone for a reason. That's because Jesus the Son, they show you the candy canes, has to place his light into the hole. And if that doesn't happen, then there's no green astral light coming out of the hole. So when you see on Egyptian statues or whatever this question mark, you'll see another picture. It's like a stick with rays of light coming off. And in any case, the moral of the story here is that you put X's and O's, you see commercials, X out on TV. It's being rubbed in your face 24/7, nonstop. How you don't see it makes no sense to me. It's literally on everything. That's telling you, get to the center of the dish to get out of here. So,
you saying that it's being rubbed in people's faces every day? I just made a video yesterday and somehow ended up on the two deities just plain as day in the Bible. And when you see Lord mentioned, that's that sacrificial Lord. And it's mentioned in 4:1 in Genesis. And Lord also in the Strong Concordance Hebrew, if you click on Lord, it means Baal or B-A-A-L, which you're mentioning, and everything else. So I don't understand how people can't see so clearly just the two deities mentioned in the Bible, but I just made a video about that yesterday. So
it's one thing. In the end, it turns out to be one side of a light hole is a black hole. So Jesus and Satan would be the same sun.
They're the same sun.
One sun is making your flesh and your bones and your blood, and the other one, now that you're here, is bringing your intentions into fruition. You say, I want to grow my hair long. I want to get that job. I want to bring forth heaven and earth. This infinite potential is the astral jet. That's what comes out of the hole. Ra, the sun, places his light into the hole. That's the candy cane, and then out from the hole comes the astral jet. The reason it's called the astral jet is because they're considering the Holy of Holies an asshole, like a sphincter that's breathing, and it's clenching up every 6 hours, bringing the tides. And you've heard of black sheep and the underdog and stuff like that. They rub it in your face. The sun above your head amounts to one sphere, and the sun beneath your feet amounts to the other, we would be in the football here in the center. So when they say the president carries the football with all the launch codes and stuff, they're telling you that, you know, to blow up the world, it's a football, because not because they pass it to, but it's because the creation is shaped as a football, or like a vagina. It's the cosmic womb. It's
cosmic egg. Yeah.
It's the same thing. The V8. See the Vesca Pisces with the vagina, the V standing for vagina, and then the figure 8. Okay, that's one side of a light hole. Here's your figure 8 right over here. You have your candy cane, and your question mark makes up your figure 8. Okay, and the bottom half of the figure 8 is larger, so you can see that it all fits in perfectly. So every compass is pointing. Compass is your cum, C-U-M, and then P pointing down, and then ass. So it's like the astral. Your compass is pointing to the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. It's very simple stuff. So they say you need to, like, don't flip out. Don't flip out. Flip out is telling you to flip out, to get out of where you are. You need to go into that hole before you're dead. You need to get there before you're dead, because if you don't, there's going to be these things coming around to eat you. Like they show you the spirit rover, the Pac-Man, all these things that want to come and eat your soul, and you'll be stuck to like a house. You wouldn't be able to go out for long, because so it's like a checkerboard like this with a hole at the center of the dish called the Holy of Holies. That's the way out. Every compass points to it. It's very simple. When I hear Admiral Richard Byrd, Richard is Dick. I have an Uncle Dick. His name is Richard, right? And a bird, like pecks. A bird does what? Peck, 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 peck.
Pecker.
Opens up his mouth and regurgitates the food for the chicks to stick the thing into the mouth, right? So they're telling you this homosexual undertone, it's all a fucking joke. How could anybody miss this? So when I hear Richard E. Byrd, they're talking Dick everybody, because E stands for
everybody.
Everybody, right? So
yeah.
And you hear your Vision Works. This is the logo on Vision Works right there. You turn it to the side, and that's Pac-Man eating a soul. You see I Ams, that's dog, like God, right? I Ams. You see the I Ams dog food?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they're showing you. They're making a joke. That's like the dog-eat-dog world.
I am, yeah.
One side of a light hole is a black hole. The sun has to eat itself. This cannibal action, we're trapped in this. So here, you lose your train of thought. You have a train going around the bottom of a Christmas tree, showing you that all your stuff is coming from Satan, the black sun beneath your feet. You put X's and O's on, I love you, X's and O's. Do you not? That's the bottom of your Christmas tree. That's the X's and O's. It's all the same story. There's no way to fuck it up. It's the X's and O's on everything. It's literally, it's your wreath that you put up on your birthday, at your funeral, or on Christmas on the door. You follow those 2 lines through, it makes an X. X marks the spot. So X is a kiss, right? That's like the suck. But we know a vagina is like this, and a starfish is a puckered asshole. So, again, it's the same story over and over and over again. And X marks the spot, but X is wrong answer at school, because a vagina is what you need to make a baby through, is a vagina, where X is wrong answer because that's a puckered asshole. So you have to check, which is, I showed another, it's the check. It's like, see this right here? That's a check mark. Okay, the candy cane. This is a symbol. You see, like, tarot cards it's like the Torah. See the Torah right there? Star in reverse is rats. So when you see rats, they're talking about, like you see the commercial with the Kia Soul. It's a square. It's the soul. It's the rats. They're telling you the same shit. That the sun, the soul, is the star. Star in reverse is rats. So, So listen, the key thing that you need to understand is the whole transaction works like this. The sun goes round and round and round, moving inward and outward, spiraling in and spiraling out. It's real simple. So it's spiraling in and spiraling out, bringing the seasons. When it gets all the way into the center, your compass that says north is attracted to the south, because opposite poles attract. Okay, so when you see South Park, they're talking about the asshole. Astrolite meaning the asshole. The rear admiral because it's talking about the ass. Okay? And it's the same story literally over and over and over. But it's the rear admiral because he's guarding the asshole. Your way out of here at the center of the dish where every compass points to. They're showing you every symbol over and over and over. X marks the spot at the center of the dish. The only reason people can't see it because they think they're on a ball floating through space as an accident. When you're not.
Well, I don't understand that because you already mentioned you can only go down so far. You can only dig so far deep, and you can't get up so far because it's the Van Allen belt. You can't even get to the moon.
Yeah, but look what Van Allen belt is. All in belt. They're telling you that everybody's in. The van is the vagina all in belt. Van Allen is the all in belt. Van is the V all in belt. You see it? It's a dome up there. Mm-hmm. So the belt is really it's this whole dome. We're inside of that. So when they show you Shiva inside of an upside down pear, they're showing you the way out, down through the center of the dish. So Shiva is only shown in two different types of symbols. He's inside of a flaming asshole in one. He's inside of an upside down pear in another, showing you the way out. It's the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. Yeah. It's the division symbol. There's no way to mess this up. So when you see this symbol over here, you notice how one thumb's in and one thumb's out? It's as above, so below, as within, so without. The light hole is being eaten by the black hole, and that causes the green astral light to come out. You see he's got a star, a yellow shirt, and a star on his shirt? Right there?
Yeah.
It's inescapable. You'll see all your cartoons, always one of the characters or all the TV shows, the young kids always have a star. And we know star in reverse is rats. Okay? So they're telling you that you're the rats. All right? All right, so we have green go. You know, the thumbs up, it's like the green thumb. And we know this is the hitchhike symbol. And we know the captains used to say in the Spanish-American War, they said green go, and that turned out to be gringo.
Gringos.
Yeah. Okay? So, all right, so here you see this, I saw this on the cover of a newspaper. It shows the soccer player in this position with Jesus upside down. Maybe you saw that? The guy was like on the front kicking the ball, and we know the ball has the symbols of Saturn right there. And you see Adidas is it says sad, upside down it says sad I pa. Like everything's this homosexual undertone. Admiral Byrd, we know that Richard is dick, and a bird, you're in the bird cage. That's a gay movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a homosexual movie.
It's the same story over and over. Why is it a gay movie, the bird cage? Because birds peck, like in blowjobs. And
pecker.
You know, the baby birds reach into the mouth and pull out the food, and it's this undertone that they keep rubbing in our faces. So the flood again is the square wave hitting down. The flood is still happening right now. The arc is going into the hole. That's the arc. We go into the hole, arcing, and we get to the underside, which is perpetual twilight. That's where the living waters is. You drink from any of the water over there, and that's where you go. That's where the fountain of youth is. So every time you see this, they're pointing to the fountain of youth. They're telling you, as within, so without it. When you see Spider-Man with the thing coming out, the web, that's the astral web. You know, it's the same type of story over and over and over again. So when you see a dung beetle, it's because it's the astral light, the black hole, coming out of the asshole. All right? So listen, you know, I see this over here. See the sun? He's in a doctor's outfit. Okay, what I'm seeing here, again, is like the yellow brick road. We need to get to the center of the dish where every compass points to. So the yellow brick road, every compass is showing you the yellow brick road. Doesn't matter where you are, your compass is showing you your yellow brick road where Jesus the Son places his light into the hole. That's...
Yeah, hold on.
It's pretty simple.
I still hear Quasi. Jada, do you hear us? I hear you, Jada, and I hear Quasi also.
I'm still here.
I still hear Quasi, and I hear Jada. Yeah, I hear you. It still says live, right?
Let's wrap this up then. Let's wrap this up. Jada, you got
okay,
this
Quasi.
right?
Yeah, hold on. Jada's calling me again. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Okay, let me see. Jada. Hello. I hear you, and I also hear Quasi. So what's go? You can't hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? What's up? Can you hear me? I don't know what happened. Oh my goodness.
Hey, tell her to wrap it up, and we'll pick up tomorrow.
Quasi, okay, yo, I still hear you.
Right. So
hello.
I want to talk about your sphere of personal influence and what you let into it, because so many people are like living in fear that they're going to get demonically possessed or that they're going to invoke some kind of thing.
You would be so lucky to be demonic possessed. For heaven's sakes, I'm the prince of demons. If one of my demons happened to grace you with their knowledge, you know, to find something, like people say I drop gems all the time. You know, I hold the spear of destiny. I never found any of this. What is the biggest lost thing of all? Everybody wants to find the Holy Grail. So you have a demon that will find you this or give you that or show you knowledge or shit. You're inside of a black hole right now with one electron bounced by a positron. You bow your head and pray to the black sun. You close your eyes, make a wish to the black sun. You blow the dice in the way. I mean, for heaven's sakes, if you don't even leave change in that thing by the register, it's a register for a reason because the universe is registering like your generosity. You throw a coin in the wishing well. You know, you blow up the dice. This goddess of death, Helil, the goddess of luck, I'm telling you, somehow I end up married off to this fucking spirit, and now I'm like completely possessed beyond measure. You know, but I look like, you know, that chick from, you know, The Exorcist or anything like that. Neither of those are my wife. My wife looks more like that girl from Moses, the movie.
The Mummy.
You know,
the Mummy.
You know, Moses marries that chick with that nice writing on her head. She looks like more like, you know, this Egyptian type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not really scary. But what I'm saying is that when I say she's mythical, what woman tells you to drink her fucking vagina blood? You're going to be mythical. I see too much. You know, people are scared to eat spaghetti sauce that their wife might mix some of her menstrual blood in the spaghetti sauce and you might fall in love with her. Become possessed by her, obsessed with her. For goodness sakes, I've given away my free will to this woman. You know what I mean? My son, we get away with shit nobody gets away with. You know what I mean? I don't want anything from you. I already know my wife is the one who made me who I am. For heaven's sakes, you know, you got to be in some sort of relationship with somebody. I don't care, you know, if you had nobody else, it was just your parents that you were, you know, like you might be staying at home to make sure your mom lives and she's got a disease or something, you got to help her out, you know, you do everything for this person. There's something there, there's a connection that you create with people, whether it be a job, whether it be, you do something every day. You don't just wake up and sit at home and jerk off all day, do you? And if you do, you better be saying every time you orgasm, like, I did a bring the benefit of all type shit.
Yeah.
And if it's not, you should be, whatever it is, if you go to a job, your boss should see the fire in your eyes. I'm going to take over your fucking company. You will show me in blood or die. I get away with it somehow. You're telling me you can't? I mean, you could, you just have to be blood thick with me. And alchemy happens. You go from lead, you know, to platinum, to diamond, to like Satan himself, the devil, you know, his advocate. You're sitting here, 144,000 blood thick motherfucker. Nobody escapes me, not even your filthy gods. Like I say, if you don't join me in blood, I'm going to take over the world and fuck everybody. In the best way, not in the worst way. In the best way. Not to scare you. This is like heaven on earth, eternal life for everybody type thing. I'm going to go bring back the fire and burn everybody ablaze with this mythical X-Men type shit. I mean, you know, it is what it is, people. I didn't make this shit up. I'm just carrying out prophecy by a book. Like I said, I gave away my free will. I just follow my wife's orders.
It is the goddess.
Stupid. And that should scare people. At least my wife is selfless, so you're in good hands.
We're lucky to have her.
Because this is not my circus and you're not my fucking monkeys. You're not in my hands. You're in my wife's hands, I assure you.
Yeah, and it's called The Elect for a reason. I can see, like, you know,
what they show you in that movie, The Mummy Returns, the woman holding out her arms with the tattoos on her head saying, bring forth my elect. You know, that's what happened, people. That's what happened. I mean, I'm like fucking so beyond what people can imagine. I don't need mythical powers, money, or anything. I already see too much. Nobody can touch me. If you even step in my direction the wrong way, your whole world will collapse on you. For heaven's sakes, everybody's already set to die unless they get to the fountain of youth. Then nobody's going to take you there. And I don't want your money. You can't devote anything to me. I'm not a cult. I'm not a religion. You can't join me. You have to put up your blood side by side and be registered in the universe as blood thick publicly.
In the line of fire with me, motherfucker. If you're not in the line of fire with me, you're not published for the world to see. The angel of death does not notice you as a living being. And you're in that book of death for a good reason. It's blood thick, side by side. I don't give a fuck if you call this one that, or this, or that. Look around you. I see people in wheelchairs. All I want to think is I cry when I see that shit. I just want to bathe them in this magical water, make their family happy, and then bring back the dead and all kinds of shit. You know, my mom died. For heaven's sake. If I could just get some of this mythical water, bring it back here, sprinkle it on her grave, boom. She's alive. I knew some of my blood brothers and you lost family members. My boss lost his daughter, shot herself in the car. Son got, hit by a fucking drunk driver. Every situation that I'm in right now, I know it's tone. Everybody's focused on a prize. We know what the prize is. I don't give a fuck what you think. I can bring back the dead. The minute I get this place, I show it to you. You get this mythical water, you drink it, you bring it back here, you plumb the earth with this shit, and we make this place ablaze with this eternal fire and all that shit. Nobody's gonna stop me. Give me a couple of years. I'll pull it off. 144,000 or not. People say 2019 is X is 2020. Look, you'll never know when it's coming. It'll be bam, bam, motherfucking thank you, man. You're like, I can't wait. You should be living for this shit. You should be making videos and holy fuck trying to wake people up. Motherfucker, I'd be digging holes all day as a fucking plumber. Don't tell me your stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? It'll take people years to figure this shit out. And, you could say your creator is not artificial intelligence. You're in the fucking Matrix. This is a hologram. They rub it in your freaking face.
Yep.
You're fractalized and shit. 50 trillion prison cells.
So you see here that you're in a super cooled computer underneath like an embryonic fluid. And, this shit's rubbed in your face. One electron balanced by a positron. You're in a computer simulation. There's people above the firmament, above the waters. They're watching this shit on computer screens. They rub this shit in your face in cartoons and, like Cartman with the seamen and the sea people. It's nonstop in your face. It's literally in your face, so you can't escape it. You gotta laugh. And this is where you are inside of a Xbox, underneath like an embryonic fluid. If you were outside looking in, it would be glowing. And there's beings watching all this shit above the firmament. They can program this shit. I put my blood into the Ethernet, blood over intent. Look it up. Nobody can escape it, motherfucker. The angel of death is gonna find you.
I am the spear of destiny. And it's such rapes and maya. Fuck you. I worship the goddess.
Motherfucker.
You're for the motherfucker.
I love you.
Said I will wish her well. I wish you will. Yeah, that's fuck you. God loves you.
I love you.
Yeah. I worship you. We wish her well.
Listen, you swallowed that demon sigil front and back. You made your blood, like I say, and my wife got a bag of these, demon biscuits that you eat at church from the online.
Yeah.
I don't work. I seen her blood from her vagina on front and back and every demon sigil you can imagine. Somehow she pulled it off by the time I left from work and the time I got home. And ceremoniously ate them all right there. And for me to publish that type of shit is biblical. It's like I can do shit nobody can do. For me to publish that shit would be too scary. You would know the end of days was really here. You might spontaneously human combust with like some biblical shit. Maybe you might duplicate it. Your wife would agree to it. And if she did, you'd be like Satan, the devil himself, with some mythical powers running through you. You're like, take over the universe. Fuck everybody. I'm going to get you eternal life whether you like it or not. You're going to live forever, get
entrance into the Garden of Eden. You're going to be like biblical. You're going to wake up above the dome with your Father in heaven, whatever the fuck it is you cling to. You ain't getting there without putting your blood up beside me, making the atonement for your filthy soul. Let's call it like it is. They don't call me the devil for no reason. This is scary for people, and it should be. We're talking about blood.
It is scary for them. That's why they talk so much shit about us. But, you know, I think it's even scarier for them to see that it's like growing like wildfire. Like it's out of our hands for sure.
Dude, the haters are the best advertisement. The fact that they even publish videos saying horrible shit, that's not the greatest thing. The more videos I see saying negative shit, the more people I see publishing blood over a tent. All I can say to these people talking negative is you're the best advertising, and they don't pay you anything.
Yeah.
For heaven's sakes, I worship you. If I could get you in front of my court, I'd kiss your feet and thank you, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how it works. They're here for a reason too, you know?